Hey, it's Adrian, and today I have a very unique case for the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. This is the Pitaka Pinbutton case. The pin buttons are these three NFC-enabled buttons that let you quick launch any type of app such as YouTube, the camera app, Maps, and once you experience it, it's going to be hard to choose any other type of case. On top of that, the case is also very lightweight due to its aramid fiber built while still protecting your phone, and you still retain Qi wireless charging and MagSafe charging thanks to the strong embedded magnet. So let's take a closer look at the Pitaka Pinbutton case for the S24 Ultra to see if this could be your next case, and a big thanks to Pitaka for sending this out for review. In the box, we have the Pinbutton case for the S24 Ultra along with an instruction guide with how to use the NFC features. The instructions mention turning on NFC on the phone and then tapping the back of your phone to the center bottom of the case, which I'll do right now. And I can see that's brought up this installation type of tutorial. The case is super lightweight, coming in at roughly 40 grams, and that's thanks to the aramid fiber built. We also have an embedded magnet in here for MagSafe charging, and we have individual camera cutouts, which is something that I always like to see instead of a huge cutout. There's a cutout on the top here, and then we also have cutouts at the bottom for S Pen access, speaker grill, and USB Type-C charging. On the inside, we have this very soft felt type material to protect the rear of your S24 Ultra. And on the left side, this is where we have those three pin buttons, which is what we're going to use for quick launching certain types of apps or settings. And on the other side, this is where we have the power and volume buttons. The S24 Ultra comes in at around 232 grams by itself. And then once you add the pin button case, it bumps it up to 274. So it's only about an additional 40 grams or so. So it's very lightweight. All right, let's go ahead and install the case, which is super easy. So I'm just going to install it camera lens side first, snap it into place, and we're done with the install. Very quick and effortless. Let's talk about how the phone feels with the case installed. So it doesn't feel like I've added, much bulk or weight, only about an additional 40 grams. In terms of hand feel, it still feels very manageable. It doesn't feel like it's, too wide or too thick like with some other cases. So yeah, hand feel is really good. And thanks to this textured type of pattern here, the gripability and, just overall feel that I have on here is pretty solid. Now, taking a look at the camera lens, you can see if I just angle it to the side there, that the module protection here does extend slightly above the camera lens, so you're ensured that you have enough protection anytime you place the phone down flat. Now, in terms of a wobble test, so you can see there's minimal wobble. Again, that's because we have the camera bump here and there's kind of nothing on this side to offset or balance that out, but it's pretty manageable actually. Overall, the fitment on the case is really good. We have easy access to all the cutouts and nothing is obstructed. In terms of responsiveness, so volume down, volume up, and the power button, very easy to use. The pin button case offers pretty good protection, so anytime you place the phone flat down, you're not going to have to worry about your camera lens, and you also have enough padding all around if the phone was supposed to be dropped on any of the corners. Now, looking at the top here, let's do a side view, and you can see that we have this raised type of lip right here on the top and at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that it just extends slightly more than on the screen, so that anytime you put the phone flat down, even if there was dust or anything here, it's not going to make contact with the screen. Your screen is going to be protected. But one thing that I do want to point out is that if we look at the right and left side lips here, I'll go ahead and do that, kind of on the side, it's basically flush with the screen, so it doesn't extend too much up. Now, you may like or not like that, but I believe the reason why Pitaka went with this kind of flush lip on the sides is that if you use the edge panels where you can drag out kind of quick settings, I don't use edge panels, but if you use those, you're not going to have any kind of impedance or obstruction. You can easily glide your finger over, and even though we have a top lip or a raised lip at the bottom, I could easily just grab my credit card here for quick NFC payment. So yeah, overall protection seems pretty good on here. It's really easy to get access to the S Pen, so even though it's a nice covering here, as soon as you pop it out, you can see that it extends enough so you could just put your fingernail there and grab it out, pop it back in and store it safely, and then just pop it right back out. Very effortless, no issues. And if you're going to be using the S Pen with the phone just placed flat down, this is about what you can expect. So you can see the S Pen use is pretty much unaffected by the magnet. It seems very fluid, very responsive, and I don't have, much wobbling, even though it's not sitting perfectly flat. For the most part, very manageable. If you love charging your phone wirelessly like I do, you still have access to Qi wireless charging and MagSafe wireless charging as well. Let's take a look at the programmable pin buttons, since this is the major draw to the case. So the first thing we have to do is to set them up, which is easy. We're going to pull down, go into settings, and then let's go into modes and routines. We're going to go into routines, and we're going to add a new routine, which is an if-then routine. So we'll go if, and then we'll make sure NFC is turned on, which it is on my phone. I'll go to NFC tag, and I'll long press on the first button here, and you can see it pops up NFC tag, and I'll call this camera. So I'll say done, and then so if I press that, this is what I want the routine to do. So we can open an app or do an app action, run a quick command, and you can see there's a bunch of different options on here. But let's do something simple. So I'll say I want to open up the camera app since I use my camera often. So I'll go to search, type in camera, and I'll say open camera, click done, and I will save it, and I'll just give it, the default color here. And let's call this camera right here. Camera launch, let's say, and done. Okay, so now I've added my first NFC tag or button. So if I go ahead and press and hold on here, boom, it just quickly launches the camera app, and then I don't have to actually double tap on my power button, or I could reprogram the double tap on my power button to do something else. One feature I use all the time is hotspot on the phone, and unfortunately Samsung doesn't give us quick access on here. So what I have to do is to go into connections, then into mobile hotspot, and then I have to turn it on manually and turn it off. Now I've programmed the Pinbutton 2 to just go ahead and turn mobile hotspot on, and that works fantastic. The only downside to the Pinbutton setup is if you go ahead and long press it again, it won't undo that action, so you still have to manually toggle that off. Same with the camera app. If I long press, it's going to open the camera app. But if I go ahead and long press again, it doesn't actually close it. I just have to manually close it. However, one workaround is to program one button to launch a specific sequence, and then you could program the other button to undo all of those sequences, so you're not manually undoing them. Now, what I've done for the Pinbutton 3 is I've given it a combo or a long routine. So I've asked it to kind of maximize my screen brightness, set my phone to a horizontal orientation, and to increase my volume if I want to watch videos on YouTube, Netflix, etc. So let's do a demo of that. So I'll long press, and there we go. So now the screen brightness is up. I have a horizontal viewing mode. I've also turned on do not disturb so I could just enjoy my media. But when I'm done with this, I will have to manually undo these settings because I can't just long press to go ahead and undo it. Now, one other thing to notice is that there is a 1 to 2 second delay once you press. So I'll go ahead and press pin button 1 right now, and you can see it's about a second and a half till it launches. So something to be mindful of. We truly have a ton of functionality. Not only can you open an app, but you can also do an app action. So you can see on certain apps, instead of just opening it, you could jump right to your account or right to messages. So like with Amazon, for example, I could open the Amazon app or jump right into the deals section or to my order. So there's really a ton of flexibility and versatility on here. So the Pitaka Pinbutton case for the S24 Ultra is a fantastic case. There's good gripability. It doesn't add much more weight or bulk, keeping your setup very lightweight. Camera lenses are protected, no significant type of wobble. And of course, the main draw is that we have these programmable pin buttons on the side here. And just to demo that again, so I could press and hold to launch the camera, or for example, the flashlight, or to take a screenshot. The possibilities are just endless with the 3 pin buttons. So go ahead and explore the modes and routines on your S24 Ultra, and basically any combination you could think of in there, you can program it or map it to one of these buttons. So if you're interested in picking up the Pitaka Pinbutton case for the S24 Ultra, or if you'd like to learn a bit more, I'm going to leave some links down below. This is truly one of the more unique cases I've seen for the S24 Ultra, and it's a great implementation. And don't forget to also check out some of my other tech reviews. I review a bunch of different tech on this channel, so I'm sure you'll find something that you like. And if I can ask a huge favor, would you mind liking and subscribing? It truly does help me out as a small and growing channel, and I hope to see you in the next one soon.